Hello there, hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to another lecture video. This is going to be the first episode of a mini two-part series that I'll be doing. And in this mini series, I'm going to be providing you with two lectures, one for the higher time frame and one for the lower time frame. So essentially, we're going to be putting together all the things that I've taught you so far inside of my previous lectures, and we're going to apply them in a simple two-step protocol going from the higher time frame down to the lower time frame. And so in this video, I'm going to be breaking down the higher time frame first. Now, if some of the things I say in this video are unfamiliar to you, then I recommend that you watch my previous lectures so that you catch up and you actually know what I'm referring to here. Because all I'm going to be showing you here are all things that I've talked about before. So getting right into it here, on the hourly chart, as you can see, this is what I use for my higher time frame. Now you can use the daily, you can use the 4-hour, but all you need is the hourly chart. As we are intraday traders, we're trading on smaller time frames, and usually we're only inside the trade for a few minutes to just a couple hours. This means that we don't need to know what the daily is doing. Of course, daily can be a nice confluence to know if you're trading in line with the current order flow on there. For this protocol, we're just going to be looking at the 1-hour chart. And the reason being is the fact that we are intraday traders. And so that means we're only looking for specific hours of the day where we're actually going to engage and look for trades. So the hourly chart provides us with more than enough data for doing that, as we're then going to be able to look at the manipulation candles and potentially catch the reversals and the distribution for the day. So I've gone ahead and chosen an example here. And this was a Friday on the 20th of June. And I'll show you in a second why this was a clean example and how I would go about looking at this day. So let's say we start looking at the charts around 8 o'clock. The first thing we have to do is we have to see, okay, where are my time cycle highs and lows? And what arrays should I monitor? So starting off with a very simple one. This would be our time cycles. As you can see up here, we have a previous daily high. And we can see that it lines up with these relatively equal highs. So we can almost anticipate that price is going to take out this high as well as these equal highs right here. And so when I see a time cycle high or low that I'm interested in, I also want to see, did it form at an array of interest? So as you know, we look for arrays that have been used by price before. So I always look to the left of the chart and I try and see, okay, which array should I use in this case that has been used repeatedly by price? Now there's a couple ones here. My eye immediately is drawn towards this area on Monday. Now, as you know, Monday can usually set the stage of the week. And so, for example, the first imbalance that started this run lower, which eventually took out liquidity, is an important point to monitor. But I'm also seeing that we have an imbalance on the left side here. And to me, this looks like a cleaner point of interest because price has used it not only on Tuesday, but also on Wednesday. Because if I mark this out, Wednesday did not use this array. However, if we mark out this array, you can see price has been in it multiple times, using it as resistance many times here. So I know, okay, this area is one I should monitor. And you see it lines up perfectly with my time cycle high. It's not the day prior's high, but it is a previous daily high. And so we monitor this because it's the same thing as a 90-minute cycle high or 30-minute cycle high. It's a time cycle. And this is a key liquidity point right here. I will then wait for price to finish manipulating here and see if we want to reach that point of interest. And so right here, as you can see, 9 o'clock opens, we go straight into taking out that high into our point of interest here. As you can see, this area. So immediately when I see price takes out this high and we start to form an SMT with ES. And this is exactly what we wanted to see. As you can see right here, not only did we sweep this time cycle high, and reject it, but we also went straight into that array of interest right here, and we anticipate that price is going to find resistance here. Also, I'm going to point out a small detail that some of you may have already seen as I've drawn this box out. What time did this candle form? Now, what time did this candle form? See how this imbalance formed at 9 o'clock and this rejection happened at 9 o'clock. So using a form of TAPTA here, you can see that price reacted perfectly at the right time from this imbalance, which formed at the same time as market open. That's why this one was more interesting than the one that formed up here. So now that we have our point of interest being reached, we have everything we need. We have our SMT. We also just need to know, what do you target in this case? Immediately, my eye is drawn to this, right down here. This is the original consolidation, as you can see, and we have our left side up into our point of interest. So we anticipate right side to deliver and taking out this sell side. Price also formed this low inside of an imbalance, as you can see right here. So this is generally a good area to monitor, especially with the weekly open being displaced. We can anticipate price also wanting to reach into that. So now using this analysis, you can see we have our point A and we have our point B, and potentially price can go even further, but this is our initial target. The first target should always be original consolidation. And so knowing we have our A to B, we see A being reached with the signatures we need to see at the right time with SMT. That is when we can drop down to the lower time frame. Now, like I said, we're going to discuss the lower time frame in the next lecture. I'm going to show you how you can enter based on this, because the higher time frame is clear. We see that we have our rejection, SMT, the time cycle liquidity being swept, and we know that price is going to go from this point to this point, and we just need to find an entry now. So I hope this video was helpful, and I'll see you guys in the next video where we discuss how you can take an entry based on this. So that being said, hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one.